Ada woke up the next morning with a heart that felt lighter than the sky. The sunlight filtered through her window like soft gold, warming her face gently. She lay still for a moment, remembering the previous day, the moment she finally let her heart open, the moment she allowed herself to believe she was worthy of love, the moment she whispered yes to the man who changed her destiny. She held the blanket closer to her chest and smiled shyly at the thought. It felt unreal. It felt too big. It felt too beautiful. But it was real. Kayode loved her. The thought alone sent a warm shiver down her spine. She stood up and fixed her bed gently. She got dressed in her simple clothes, brushed her hair, and stepped into the morning air. The compound felt different now, like it welcomed her. She walked slowly, breathing deeply, trying to calm the butterflies that fluttered inside her. Her life had changed so much, and she was still adjusting to the idea of peace. She was sweeping the compound when she heard the familiar hum of Kayode's SUV. It entered the compound smoothly, and Kayode stepped out wearing a clean white shirt tucked into black trousers. His eyes found hers immediately. She lowered her eyes shyly, her heart racing. He walked toward her slowly, and when he stood in front of her, he smiled gently. "Good morning, Ada." "Good morning, sir," she said softly. He chuckled. "Ada, you can call me by my name now." Ada froze. Her lips trembled slightly. I don't know how, sir." "Try," he said gently. She swallowed hard. "Kayode," the way she said it, soft, shaky, innocent, touched him deeply. He nodded slowly. "Good." Ada lowered her eyes again, shy and overwhelmed. But their quiet moment would not last long. Not today, because destiny was preparing to test the love that just began to grow. Around mid-morning, Kayode told Ada he wanted to take her to meet someone. "Who, sir?" she asked nervously. "You'll see," he said calmly, though there was a seriousness in his voice she didn't understand. She followed him into the SUV, heart pounding with mixed excitement and fear. She didn't know if she should prepare herself for happiness or trouble. The drive was quiet. Kayode kept glancing at her from time to time. She sat with her hands folded tightly on her lap, watching the city pass by through the window. They reached a gated mansion, not just any mansion, but wealth on another level. The walls were tall and polished. The gate had gold designs. Flowers lined the walkway like decoration for royalty. Ada's heart sank immediately. Her breathing became shallow. "Sir, who lives here?" she whispered. Kayode exhaled deeply. "My mother." Ada's stomach tightened painfully. Kayode stepped out and walked around to open her door. She stepped down slowly, her legs trembling. She felt small, too small to stand in a place like this. As they walked toward the entrance, Ada fought the urge to run. Her heart beat like thunder in her chest. The door opened before they reached it. A tall, elegant woman in her late 60s stepped out, dressed in a flowing lace gown, expensive jewelry shining on her neck. Her eyes held authority, confidence, wealth, and suspicion. Ada stopped walking. Kayode's mother looked at Ada from head to toe with sharp eyes. Her face hardened instantly. "Kayode," she said, her voice slow and heavy. "Is this the girl?" "Yes, mother," he replied calmly. The woman's eyes narrowed. Ada quickly lowered her head, her nails digging into her palms. "She used to be a maid?" Kayode's mother asked coldly. "Yes," Kayode said. Ada felt her throat close. The woman clicked her tongue loudly. "And this is who you brought to my house? This is who you want to present to me?" Kayode straightened. "Mother, she's important to me." The woman laughed, not a joyful laugh, but a deep, mocking, cut-to-the-bone laugh. "Important? Kayode, have you lost your senses? Is this some kind of joke? You're a man of your status, bringing a homeless girl to me?" Ada's heart shattered. She felt her eyes burn, but she kept her head down, fighting the tears. Kayode stepped forward. "Mother, don't talk to her like that." "I will talk exactly how I want," the woman snapped. "I gave birth to you. I raised you. I built the name you carry. And you want to bring shame into this family? With a girl like this?" Ada's knees felt weak. Shame wrapped around her like a cold cloth. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to sink into the ground. Kayode moved closer to Ada protectively. "She is not shame. She is the best thing that has happened to me. His mother gasped loudly. Kayode, are you mad? A girl with nothing? A girl from the street? A girl that slept outside like a beggar? Ada finally broke. A tear escaped before she could stop it. His mother saw it and scoffed. Look at her, crying already. No class, no strength, no dignity. This is who you want to marry? Over my dead body. Ada covered her mouth with shaking hand. This was worse than every insult Madame Okoye ever threw at her. This was humiliation dipped in poison. Kayode stepped in front of Ada, shielding her from his mother's glare. Enough, he said, voice low and dangerous. If you cannot respect her, then you cannot speak to me. His mother's eyes widened. Kayode, you would choose her over your own blood? I will choose peace. I will choose kindness. I will choose the person who has never used me, never lied to me, never demanded anything from me. Ada's tears poured faster. Kayode's mother stepped back, furious. I will not allow this. I will not accept her. You don't have to accept her, Kayode said, but you will not disrespect her. His mother pointed at Ada with disgust. She will never fit into this family. Never. Look at her. Look at the gap between your world and hers. Do you think she can stand beside you in public? In meetings? At events? Do you think people will respect you with her by your side? Kayode clenched his jaw. Mother, she is beneath you, his mother screamed. Ada flinched violently at the words. Kayode grabbed Ada's hand instantly. Let's go. Ada's tears dripped onto the driveway as she followed him back to the SUV. His mother shouted behind them. If you choose her, don't come back to this house. Don't call me mother. Don't bring shame to my name. Ada trembled harder. Kayode ignored every word. When they entered the SUV, Ada broke down completely. She covered her face with both hands, crying like her heart was breaking apart. Kayode, she hates me, she hates me. I should not have come. Kayode grabbed her shoulders gently. Ada, look at me. She tried, but the tears blurred her vision. Look at me, he said again. She lifted her eyes slowly, painfully. You did nothing wrong. I don't belong here, she sobbed. I don't fit your world. Your mother is right. She is wrong, Kayode said firmly. Ada shook her head. I am nothing. I was sleeping outside. People like me don't. Ada, he interrupted, his voice soft but strong. You're everything I want. Her tears fell again. She struggled to speak. Kayode, I don't want to be the reason you fight your mother. He touched her cheek gently, wiping her tears. If my mother truly loves me, she will understand one day. But you, Ada, you're not going anywhere. She closed her eyes, shaking. I'm scared. I know, he said softly, but you're not alone. He started the engine and drove her home. Ada cried silently the whole way. His mother's words had cut deeper than a knife, but she didn't know that this was only the beginning of a battle between love and status, between a billionaire's heart and a family's pride, between acceptance and rejection. And Ada, the girl who once slept outside a gate, was about to face a storm bigger than anything she had ever endured. The ride home after meeting Kayode's mother felt painfully quiet. Ada sat in the passenger seat with her hands pressed tightly together on her lap. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying, her chest still trembling with quiet sobs she tried to hide. Each word Kayode's mother threw at her, repeated in her mind like a curse she couldn't escape. You are beneath him. You don't belong here. You will never fit into this family. Over my dead body. Ada squeezed her eyes shut as another tear slipped down her cheek. She didn't understand how a woman she had never harmed already hated her so deeply. Kayode kept glancing at her as he drove, his brows furrowed, his jaw tight. He had seen pain before, but watching Ada cry felt like something tearing inside him. He wanted to pull over and hold her. He wanted to wipe her tears one by one. He wanted to undo every word his mother said, but he didn't want to overwhelm her. Not yet. When they finally reached home, Ada stepped out slowly, her legs weak. She walked into her room, without a word. Kayode watched her go, helpless, his heart heavy. Inside, Ada sat on the bed and let her tears fall freely. She hugged her knees tightly, rocking slightly as she cried. She didn't sob loudly. No, she cried the way a girl who had learned to cry, quietly her whole life cried, brokenly, softly, painfully. She cried for her past. She cried for her shame. She cried for her fear. She cried for the love she thought she didn't deserve. She cried because she had finally found joy, and something was already trying to steal it. An hour passed before she stood up. She washed her face. She tried to steady her breathing. She whispered a prayer under her breath. Then she stepped outside. Kayode was sitting near the garden, waiting for her. When he saw her, he stood up immediately. "Ada, come here." She walked slowly toward him, her eyes still avoiding his. He moved closer. "Look at me." She hesitated, then lifted her eyes. "I'm sorry about what happened today," he said softly. Ada shook her head quickly. "No, sir, no. Please don't apologize. It's not your fault." "It is my responsibility," he replied. "My mother had no right to speak to you that way." Ada lowered her eyes again. "Sir, she is your mother. She has every right to choose who enters her family. Not when it concerns my life," Kayode said firmly. Ada swallowed hard. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "Sir, I don't want to be the reason there is a fight between you and your mother." "You're not the reason," he said. "But she hates me," Ada whispered, looking hurt. "She sees me as nothing." Kayode stepped closer. "I see you as everything." Ada closed her eyes, fighting tears again. "I know her words hurt you," he said gently, "but I need you to be strong. Not for me," he touched her shoulder lightly, "but for yourself." Ada nodded slowly. "I don't want to lose you," he said. She inhaled shakily. "I'm just scared." "I know," he replied, "but you're not alone." She wiped her eyes and whispered, "Thank you." Kayode sighed softly and reached for her hand. She let him hold it this time. He gave her a small, reassuring squeeze. Later that evening, Ada washed plates quietly in the kitchen. She did everything slowly, lost in thought. She didn't hear the gate open. She didn't hear footsteps approaching. She only heard the deep voice that made her freeze instantly. "Ada!" She turned sharply. Kayode stood behind her. But he wasn't alone. Beside him were two women, both young, stylish, confident, and staring at Ada like she was dirt on their shoes. One wore an expensive silk blouse with diamonds on her neck. The other had long, straight hair and a designer bag on her arm. "These are my sisters," Kayode said. Ada's heart sank again. The taller sister, the one with the diamond necklace, spoke first. "So you're the maid." The way she said the word maid felt like a slap. Sharp, cruel, unnecessary. Ada lowered her head immediately. "Good evening, Ma." "Don't call me Ma," the woman said sharply. "We are not your madams." Her sister laughed quietly with a mocking smirk. Kayode frowned. "What are you both doing here?" "We came to see the girl you want to disgrace our family with," the younger sister said boldly. Ada felt her chest tighten again. "You cannot be serious, Kayode," the older sister snapped. "A girl who is sleeping on the streets? A girl who looks at the floor more than she looks at people? You want this as your partner?" Ada felt shame burn through her entire body like fire. She wanted to hide. She wanted to cry. She wanted the earth to swallow her. But she stayed still. Kayode stepped in front of her. "If you don't have anything respectful to say, leave." "We're not leaving until you listen," the younger sister shot back. "Do you think the business world will take you seriously with her standing beside you?" "She will embarrass you," the older sister added. "She's not smart. She's not educated. She's not your level." Ada felt tears building again. She clenched her hands tightly so they wouldn't see her shaking. Kayode's voice hardened. "If you insult her one more time—" "We're helping you, Kayode," the older sister snapped. "Mother cried today. Do you know why? Because you're throwing your future away on a nobody." Every word stabbed Ada painfully. Kayode's face darkened. "Enough." "No," the sister insisted. "This girl is using you." Ada inhaled sharply. Not because the words were true, but because they were the exact opposite of who she was. Kayode stepped forward angrily. "She has never asked me for anything. Not one thing." That's how they start, the younger sister shouted. They pretend to be humble so they can climb. Ada finally broke. Please, she whispered weakly, stop. The sisters turned to look at her with disgust. She took a shaky step backward. I don't want to cause trouble. If my being here is a problem, I will go. Kayode spun around. No, you're not going anywhere. The older sister rolled her eyes. If she stays, we will never accept your relationship. That is your choice, Kayode said coldly. His sisters exchanged shocked glances. They had never seen him choose anyone over family. This girl, the younger sister whispered angrily, will scatter everything. Kayode ignored them completely. He turned to Ada. You're not leaving, not because of them. Ada's voice trembled. Sir, I don't want to destroy your family. You're not destroying anything, he said firmly. They are choosing to behave this way. But Ada bowed her head and whispered, I am not their level. Kayode lifted her chin gently. You are my level. She started crying again. The sisters scoffed loudly. This is madness. Kayode finally reached his breaking point. Get out. The sisters gasped. You dare. Out, he said, louder this time. They left angrily, slamming the gate behind them. Ada stood there crying quietly. Kayode pulled her gently into an embrace. Not romantic, not forceful, just warm, comforting, protective. Ada, he whispered, I don't care who hates us. I don't care who fights us. I don't care who rejects you. As long as you don't give up on us. I won't give up either. Ada cried even harder into his chest. His next words sealed her heart. You are not going back to suffering. You are not returning to shame. You are not losing this love because of people who refuse to understand. Ada nodded weakly, still crying. Kayode held her tighter. And in that moment, the battle line was drawn. On one side, his mother, his sisters, status, pride, judgment. On the other side, a girl who once slept outside, a girl who suffered, a girl who loved quietly, a girl who wanted nothing except peace. And in between them stood Kayode, refusing to let go. Ada had no idea what tomorrow would bring, but one thing was clear. This love would either break the world, or the world would try to break it. The house felt heavier the next morning. Even the air seemed different, thicker, colder, carrying the weight of everything that happened the day before. Ada woke up with swollen eyes, her pillow still damp from the tears she shed long into the night. For the first time since she entered Kayode's life, she felt fear returning, creeping into her heart like an unwanted shadow. She sat on the edge of her bed, staring down at her hands. They trembled slightly. She hated that. She hated feeling weak again. She hated that the insults from his mother and sisters could still reach her heart. She whispered prayer under her breath, asking God for strength she wasn't sure she had. When she stepped out of her room, the house felt quiet, too quiet. She walked to the kitchen and found Mama Anum stirring a pot of porridge. The older woman turned, and her expression softened. Ah, my daughter, you didn't sleep well. Ada forced a small smile. I'm fine, Ma. You are not fine, Mama Anum said gently. But you will be. Ada lowered her eyes. It's hard, Ma. I didn't want his family to hate me. Mama Anum sighed. Some families love only what looks like them. They cannot imagine their son seeing gold in a girl who suffered. But mark my words, Ada, God sees. Ada nodded slowly, swallowing her tears. Before Mama Anum could say more, the sound of the gate opening filled the house. Ada's heart jumped. Kayode entered the kitchen moments later. He looked exhausted, his eyes slightly red, his shirt wrinkled like he hadn't slept much either. When Ada saw him, her heart squeezed painfully. She lowered her head quickly. He stepped closer. Ada, he said softly. She nodded. Good morning. Come with me, he said. Ada followed him to the small garden at the side of the house. She didn't know why, but her stomach twisted with nervousness. Kayode waited until they were alone before speaking. Ada, my mother called me last night. Ada froze. Her breath caught. She felt her chest tighten instantly. Kayode continued. She begged me to come to her house. She said she wasn't done talking. She wanted me to end thus. Ada felt everything inside her go still. He looked at her, his face serious. I refused. Tears instantly filled Ada's eyes. She said she will never bless our union. Kayode continued. She said if I go ahead with you, she will cut me off. Ada felt dizzy. Sir, she whispered, maybe we should. Don't say it, he interrupted firmly. But, sir, I said don't, he repeated, softer this time. Ada swallowed painfully. Her heart was breaking and healing at the same time. Kayode took her hand gently. Ada, look at me. She lifted her trembling eyes. I love you, he said quietly. I didn't choose you because of pity. I didn't choose you because of your past. I chose you because of your heart. Ada blinked as tears fell. But my mother cannot understand that, he said. Not yet. She only sees status. She doesn't see soul. He exhaled deeply. I went to her house last night because I wanted to explain again, but she didn't listen. My sisters didn't listen. They called you everything except your name. Ada looked away quickly to hide her tears. Kayode touched her chin gently, turning her face back to him. But I listened, he said. I listened to my heart, and it is telling me not to let you go. Ada cried even more. Kayode, I'm scared. I know, he whispered, but you're not alone anymore. She leaned into him slightly, needing the comfort of his presence. For a long moment, they stood in the quiet garden, the morning breeze brushing against them, the world outside still unaware of the battle forming inside this small compound. Eventually, Kayode stepped back. Ada, he said, there is something I need you prepare for. Her heart thudded. What is it, sir? My mother is not finished, he said. She will try again. She will send people. She will bring arguments. She may even try to bribe you to leave. Ada swallowed. I won't take anything. I know, he said, but I need you strong. Ada wiped her face. I will try. He nodded slowly. Later that afternoon, Ada was washing clothes outside when she heard a car honk at the gate. Her heart skipped. She looked at the guard who opened it, and her blood ran cold. It was Kayode's mother, and she wasn't alone. Behind her were 3 older women, beautiful, wealthy, powerful-looking. Women with expensive lace, heavy jewelry, and faces that showed they were used to respect and authority. Ada stepped back instinctively. Kayode emerged from his office inside, shocked to see them. Mother, he said sharply, what are you doing here? The older woman lifted her chin. I came with the women of our family. Ada felt her knees weaken. The women approached like judges coming to deliver a verdict. One stepped forward. Is this the girl? Another scoffed. Ah, so small. The third whispered loudly, this is an embarrassment. Ada's hands trembled so hard, she almost dropped the clothes she was washing. Kayode walked quickly to her side. That's enough. But the oldest among the women, beautiful with gray hair and piercing eyes, stepped closer to Ada. So, you are the girl causing war in this family? Ada's voice barely came out. Nah, I don't want to cause war. Then leave, the woman said coldly. Ada gasped softly. Kayode stepped in front of her instantly. She is not leaving. The women ignored him. One of them handed Ada a brown envelope. Take this. Money. Travel. Start a new life. Forget this family. Ada stared at the envelope as if it were poison. She shook her head vigorously. No, Ma, I don't want money. I don't want trouble. The oldest woman stepped closer. If you stay with him, you will destroy everything he has built. We cannot accept you. You are dirt compared to our family. Ada's tears burst instantly. She covered her mouth with her hand to stop the sob. Kayode's mother pointed dangerously. This relationship ends here. You cannot marry my son. You cannot join our family. You cannot spoil the name we built. Kayode's voice thundered. Enough. Everyone turned. Kayode stepped in front of Ada completely, shielding her like a wall. Stop attacking her, he said, anger shaking his voice. Stop insulting her. Stop humiliating her. She has done nothing wrong. The women shook their heads. You are bewitched. one whispered. You have lost your senses, another said. You will regret this shame, a third added. But Kayode ignored them all. He took Ada's trembling hand, holding it firmly. She is my choice, he said boldly. My final choice. Ada cried even harder at his words. His mother gasped loudly. Kayode, you shame me. You shame yourself, he replied. The entire compound went silent. Finally, Kayode's mother turned sharply. If you go ahead with her, you are no longer my son. Ada collapsed to her knees with a cry. Please, please don't fight because of me. I beg you. She covered her face, shaking violently. Kayode bent down and lifted her gently to her feet. Ada, stop. Look at me. She looked up, tears flowing endlessly. Nothing. Listen to me. Nothing will make me leave you. She cried harder. His mother hissed. We'll see about that. The women turned and stormed out of the compound. The gate slammed shut. Ada turned to Kayode, sobbing uncontrollably. Why are they doing this to me? I didn't hurt them. I didn't take anything from them. Kayode pulled her into his chest and held her tightly. Because they fear what they don't understand. But I understand you, and I'm not letting you go. Ada buried her face in his shirt, crying like her heart was breaking. Kayode held her even tighter. And at that moment, love swore a quiet vow against all odds. But Ada didn't know the biggest battle was still ahead. For days after confrontation with Kayode's mother and the elder women, the house felt like it was breathing in slow, heavy breaths. Ada moved around the compound quietly, trying her best not to show the storm inside her heart. She swept, washed, cooked, smiled politely, but inside, fear was crawling up her chest like a vine. Every time she touched her chest, she could feel the weight of his mother's words pressing there. You are dirt. You cannot be accepted. You will destroy his name. You are not our level. Ada wished she didn't hear them. She wished she could erase them. But a wound like that didn't fade easily. Kayode noticed everything. He watched the way she avoided his eyes, the way she looked down whenever he walked into a room, the way she tried to act cheerful, but her smile trembled, the way she wrapped her fingers together whenever she was nervous, rubbing her thumb across her palm like someone trying to warm a cold heart. Ada, he said one evening, come and sit with me. She obeyed quietly, sitting beside him on the small veranda. He reached for her hand, and she hesitated, then slowly let him hold it. You've been distant, he said softly. Ada swallowed but didn't speak. What's troubling you? He asked. She looked down at her feet. Sir, your family hates me. He tightened his grip on her hand. You are not marrying my family. Ada closed her eyes painfully. But they are part of you. Yes, he answered. But they don't control my future. Ada felt a tear slide down her cheek. Sir, I can't bear to see you fighting with them because of me. Kayode shifted closer. Ada, my family fights me on many things. They fought my business decisions. They fought my charity project. They fought my independence. But this, he touched her cheek gently. This is something I am choosing, and I will stand by it. Ada's shoulders trembled. But, sir, I am scared. I know, he whispered. She blinked more tears away. Kayode sighed deeply, running a hand through his hair. I didn't want to tell you this yet, but my mother is planning something. Ada's heart dropped. What is she planning? She called a meeting with extended family, he said. She wants to embarrass you publicly. She wants to convince everyone I am bewitched. Ada gasped softly and covered her mouth. Pain and fear washed over her in a wave. Kayode continued. She also spoke with some business partners. She wants them to question my judgment so they can pressure me to leave you. Ada's legs went weak. She held his arm for support. Sir, this is too much. I'm not worth this trouble. Kayode cupped her face gently. You are worth everything. Ada sobbed quietly. And that's not all, he added. Ada's breath stopped. What else? Someone leaked your story online. Ada froze. Her lips parted, but no sound came out. Leaked? She whispered. What story? Kayode looked at her with pain in his eyes. A blog posted that I am dating a girl who used to sleep outside. They made it sound like a scandal. Ada felt her heart shatter. Kayode continued. They even posted a picture, taken secretly. You were sweeping outside the compound. The headline says, Billionaire falls for housemaid. Family in shock. Ada felt like the ground beneath her was disappearing. Her vision blurred. Her breathing became fast. Sir, no. Please, tell me this is not happening. Kayode pulled her close to calm her. Ada, listen to me. People will always talk, but I won't let them hurt you. Ada cried into his chest. Sir, they are mocking me. I know, he whispered. Sir, what if your business suffers because of me? It won't, he said firmly. What if people stop respecting you? I don't care, he said. Ada shook her head violently. But I care because you deserve peace. You deserve a woman from your level. You deserve someone who fits your world. Ada, no, sir, she whispered brokenly. You're choosing me, but your world is rejecting me. Kayode's heart broke hearing that. Ada, I don't want their world. I want you. She looked up at him, her eyes swimming with tears. But they will destroy us. We won't let them, he said. But Ada's tears flowed harder. Sir, maybe we should. Kayode grabbed her hand tightly. Don't say it. She sobbed. Maybe we should stop before things get worse. Kayode's heart dropped. Ada, no. She shook her head weakly. I can't fight them. I'm tired. I'm not strong like you. Kayode took her shoulders gently. You are stronger than you think. Ada wiped her tears with shaking hands. Sir, please forgive me, but I can't bear to see you suffer because of me. Kayode didn't speak. He just pulled her to his chest and held her tightly. Ada, don't leave me, he whispered. Don't let them win. Ada cried harder, her tears soaking his shirt. I won't leave, she whispered. Kayode exhaled in relief. But, sir, she added softly, I need to know something. What? He asked gently. Are you sure you want me, even if your whole family stand against us? He didn't hesitate. Yes, absolutely. Ada took a shaky breath. Then, I will stay. Kayode closed his eyes and pressed his forehead to hers. Thank you, he whispered, but their quiet moment didn't last long, because the next surprise came faster than either of them expected. That evening, while Ada was inside washing her hands, she heard shouting at the gate, loud shouting, angry voices. She ran toward the sound trembling. Kayode was already outside, and standing at the gate was Kayode's mother. But she wasn't alone. Behind her were reporters, cameras flashing, microphones raised, bloggers, media men, curious neighbors, people recording with their phones. Ada's blood turned to ice. She covered her mouth and gasped. Kayode stepped forward immediately. Mother, what are you doing? His mother pointed dramatically at Ada and shouted, This is the girl destroying my son's life. A street girl, a maid who slept outside, a girl who tricked her way into my son's house. Ada staggered backward. Reporters pushed their microphones forward. Is it true? Did you seduce him? Are you controlling him? Did he pick you from the street? Did you sleep outside for years? Are you using charm? Ada fell faint. Her chest tightened. Her breathing shortened. Her vision blurred. She shook her head frantically, tears pouring. No, please, no. Kayode's mother shouted louder. Tell them who you are. Tell them where you came from. Ada cried uncontrollably. Stop, please stop. Kayode exploded. Mother, stop. But it was too late. Phones were recording. Blogs were streaming. People were watching. And Ada, the girl who had suffered quietly all her life, was now being humiliated publicly. Her body shook violently. Her legs buckled, and she collapsed to the ground. Kayode caught her before she hit the floor. He lifted her into his arms, shouting, Move back! All of you, move! He carried her inside, slammed the gate, and locked it, his heart pounding with rage and fear. Ada sobbed into his chest like a girl whose soul had just broken. Why? Why are they doing this to me? Why won't they let me live? Kayode held her tightly. his voice shaking. Ada, I promise you they will never hurt you again. But Ada couldn't hear him. Her tears were too loud. Her pain was too deep. She clung to him like someone drowning, and Kayode swore silently, "This ends now, and I will fight for her, even if I must fight the whole world." Ada cried until her voice began to break. Kayode carried her into her room and helped her sit on the bed. She trembled uncontrollably, her chest rising and falling rapidly as she gasped for breath. Her tears soaked his shirt, her fingers digging into his arms like someone clinging to life. "Breathe. Ada, breathe," Kayode whispered, brushing her hair out of her face. "You're safe. You're safe now." But she didn't feel safe. She felt exposed, stripped, shamed, humiliated in front of strangers, in front of the world. Her voice cracked as she sobbed. Why are they doing this to me?" Kayode swallowed, fighting back his own anger and guilt. Because they are wrong. Because they are afraid of losing control. Because they don't understand love. Ada shook her head weakly. "No, sir, it's because of me. Because of my past. Because I am nothing." Kayode grabbed her face gently with both hands. "Don't say that again. Ever." Tears streamed down her cheeks as she whispered, "They call me a street girl. In front of cameras. In front of people I don't know." Kayode clenched his jaw. "They will pay for this." Ada looked up at him with desperate eyes. "Sir, please don't fight anymore. They will only hate me more." He wiped her tears slowly. "I don't care who hates you." "But I care," she whispered brokenly. Kayode exhaled deeply and pulled her into his arms again. He held her until her breathing slowed a little. He stayed with her until her tears softened into quiet sniffles. Even then, she didn't let go of his shirt. Hours passed before Ada gathered the strength to speak again. "Sir, maybe I should leave." Kayode's entire body stiffened. "No." She lowered her eyes. "I don't want to ruin your name." "You are not ruining anything," he said. "But everyone thinks I don't deserve you," she whispered. "I deserve peace," he replied, "and you give me peace." Ada covered her face again as new tears escaped. "Sir, I'm tired." Kayode gently pulled her hands down. "I know, but you are stronger than you think. You survived worse than this." Ada took a shaky breath. "But this time, the whole world is watching." Kayode nodded slowly. "Then let the world watch you rise." Ada blinked. He continued. "They want to shame you? Let them watch you succeed. They want to call you a street girl? Let them watch you walk into a better life. They want to destroy your name? I will make sure your name becomes their lesson." Ada stared at him, speechless. Then Kayode stood up, anger simmering under his calm voice. "I'm going to end this madness." Ada panicked. "Sir, please." "I'm not fighting them physically," he said. "There are other ways to silence people." He stepped out of the room. Ada grabbed his hand faintly. "Please don't let them hurt you." He squeezed her fingers. "They can't." And then he left. Ada sat on the bed, hugging her knees. She felt empty, like someone had poured her heart out and left her hollow. Her mind replayed the reporters' voices, the flashes of cameras, the crowd staring at her like she was a scandal instead of a human being. Hours later, the compound gate opened again. Ada jumped in fear. She stood quickly, wiping her face, bracing for another wave of humiliation. But when Kayode walked in, he wasn't angry. He was composed, determined, calm in a dangerous way. Ada stepped forward slowly. "Sir, what happened?" Kayode placed his phone on the table. "I just finished speaking with the media. All of them." Ada's heart dropped. "Media?" Kayode nodded. "Yes." "But, sir, what did you say?" Kayode exhaled deeply. "The truth." He sat down. Ada sat beside him nervously. He continued. "I told them you didn't seduce me. I told them you didn't use charm. I told them you didn't manipulate me." Ada's fingers tightened around her wrapper. Kayode's eyes softened. "I told them you were a victim of abuse, not shame. I told them I saw you suffering and couldn't turn away. I told them you were hardworking, kind, respectful, and brave." Ada covered her mouth as tears filled her eyes again. "And I told them," Kayode added quietly, "that I love you Ada's entire body trembled. She looked at him with watery eyes. "Sir, you said that publicly?" "Yes," he said confidently. "And I will say it again." Ada's tears fell harder. But then something happened that neither of them expected. The gate opened. Ada panicked instantly. Sir, is it news people again?" "No," Kayode said, but his expression tightened. A familiar black SUV pulled in. A man in an expensive suit stepped out, and behind him was Kayode's uncle, one of the oldest male figures in the family. Ada felt her fear spike again. The uncle approached with a stern expression. "Kayode, we need to talk." Ada stepped back nervously. Kayode moved protectively in front of her. "Say whatever you want. I will not send her away." The uncle raised a hand. "Calm down." Kayode frowned. The uncle glanced at Ada reluctantly, then sighed. "Your mother called us. She told us things. We believed her because she is family, but we watched your interview." Ada's breath caught. The uncle continued. "And some of us realized she went too far publicly, too far emotionally, too far as a mother." Kayode looked shocked. "So what do you want?" The uncle stepped closer. "I came to apologize." Ada's mouth fell open. The uncle turned to her. "Young lady, what my sister-in-law did was wrong. She let pride blind her. That was not how a woman of her standing should behave." Ada trembled. "Sir," the uncle nodded slowly. "We may not accept you immediately, but we cannot support what she did today. No woman deserves public shame like that, not even the poorest of the poor." Ada cried silently. "And I came to tell you," he added, "that some members of this family stand with you." Ada's knees weakened. Kayode reached for her hand. The uncle looked at them both and said, "Give us time. But know this, you are not alone." And then he left. Ada collapsed into Kayode's arms instantly, crying with shock and relief. "I told you," he whispered, brushing her tears gently. "The same world that shamed you will one day defend you." Ada sobbed quietly. "Sir, thank you." Kayode lifted her chin and wiped her tears. "You survived the worst. Now you will rise." Ada leaned into him, exhausted but hopeful for the first time. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but for the first time, she felt like the fight was not one-sided. For the first time, she saw the beginning of acceptance. For the first time, she knew she wasn't fighting alone. And destiny, watching silently, whispered, "The story has just begun." The morning after the unexpected apology from Kayode's uncle felt like a strange mixture of peace and tension. The compound was quiet again, the air soft and warm, but Ada's heart was still beating with uncertainty. The apology had given her a spark of hope, but she knew it wasn't over. Acceptance from one uncle did not erase the rejection from his mother, or the humiliation from the reporters, or the painful whispers spreading online. Ada stepped out of her room carefully, running her fingers across her wrapper, trying to steady her nerves. She found Kayode standing outside near his car, speaking to someone on the phone. His voice was calm but firm, the voice of a man taking control of chaos. When he saw her, he ended the call and walked toward her. "Good morning," he said gently. "Good morning, sir," she replied softly. He smiled faintly. "Ada, you can call me Kayode." She blushed. "I'm still learning, sir, Kayode." He nodded and held her hand briefly. "How are you feeling?" She took a small breath. "Better than yesterday, but still scared." He touched her cheek softly. "You're safe, and you're not alone." She nodded slowly, trying to believe it. Kayode stepped back. "Ada, there's something important I want to talk to you about today." Her heart skipped. "What is it?" He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he said, "Come with me." They walked to the living room and sat. Ada looked nervous, twisting her fingers in her lap. "Ada," he began, "what happened yesterday, the humiliation, the shouting, the reporters, it showed me something." Ada lowered her eyes. "It showed me that the world will keep attacking you if you stand beside me without protection. My mother will keep trying to break you. My sisters will keep insulting you. People online will keep mocking you." Ada swallowed. "And I will not allow you to go through all that alone anymore." She looked up slowly. "Sir, what do you mean?" Kayode exhaled deeply. If we're going to continue this relationship, and if I want to shield you properly, then we must take the next step. Ada blinked in confusion. What step? Kayode took her hand gently. Marry me. Ada's entire body froze. Her fingers stiffened. Her breath vanished. Her eyes widened in shock. Kayode held her hand firmly. I'm serious. Marry me. Ada felt her chest tighten. Sir, I know. Please, I don't understand. He moved closer, his voice steady. Ada, I love you, and I want to make this official. If you become my wife, no one will have the right to insult you again. My mother will have to accept you. My sisters will have to respect you. The public will have to recognize you. Ada shook her head, trembling. Sir, don't play with me. Marriage is not a joke. I am not joking, he said softly. She looked down, her tears dripping onto her hands. But, sir, your family will hate me more. They will adapt, Kayode replied. They don't have a choice. Ada cried quietly, wiping her face. Sir, I don't know if I am ready. He held her hands tighter. Ada, listen to me. I don't want you to run again. I don't want you to doubt your worth again. I want to build a life with you. I want to give you the dignity that life tried to steal. Ada sobbed. But I am nothing. You are everything, he said firmly. She cried harder. Then he said something that silenced every fear inside her. You survived pain that would have destroyed anyone else. You lived through things royalty could not survive, and you still have a pure heart. That is the kind of woman I want beside me. Ada covered her face with her palms as tears poured. She whispered, Sir, I don't know if I am good enough to be your wife. Kayode gently removed her hands from her face. Look at me. Her eyes met his through tears. You are more than good enough. Ada trembled. Her lips parted, but words didn't come out. She tried to breathe. She tried to understand. She tried to believe. Kayode wiped her tears with his thumb. You don't have to give me an answer today. I will wait, but I want you to think about the future, not the past. Ada nodded slowly, still crying. He kissed her forehead lightly, respectfully, carefully, as if she were something fragile he didn't want to break. Ada's heart melted completely. Then suddenly, bang, bang, bang. The loud knocking at the gate made Ada jump violently. Kayode stood immediately. Stay here. Ada watched as he stepped outside. Her heart thudded painfully. She could hear muffled voices through the walls, angry, familiar voices. Her stomach twisted. Seconds later, the voices grew louder, closer, sharper. Then the door burst open, and standing there was Kayode's mother, her face burning with fury, her eyes red with rage, her voice like thunder. Behind her were her daughters. Ada, she screamed, you dare accept a proposal from my son? Ada gasped and stood up slowly, her knees shaking. No, Ma, no. He only talked to me. I didn't. Liar, his mother hissed. A witch like you must be using something. My son has lost his mind because of you. Mother, Kayode tried to step in, but she pushed him aside. You think you can enter this family? She screamed. Over my dead body. Ada cried. Ma, please. I didn't. Shut up, his mother shouted. The sisters joined in. She wants your money. She wants your name. She will embarrass us. She is not wife material. She doesn't belong on our level. Ada shook her head desperately. No, please. Kayode stepped in between them. Enough. You will not insult her in my house. This is not your house anymore, his mother screamed. Not if this girl is here. Ada felt the world closing in around her. She couldn't breathe. She clutched her chest, shaking violently. Kayode turned to her. Ada. She stepped back. I can't breathe. His mother scoffed. Look at her. She can't even stand strong. How can she be a wife? Ada burst into sobs. She could not fight this. She could not endure this. She could not survive being hated. Ada locked her door the moment she reached her room. Her hands shook so violently she could barely turn the key. Her breath came out in sharp, panicked gasps. She slid down the door and collapsed on the floor, hugging her knees to her chest as her tears spilled uncontrollably. Her lungs tightened. Her chest felt like it was closing in. Her mind replayed everything. The mother's insults, the sisters shouting, the reporters at the gate, the online humiliation, the constant rejection. It was too much, too loud, too heavy. She placed both hands over her ears, trying to silence the noise in her head. "Stop, stop, stop," she whispered through sobs. But the memories were too loud. Kayode's voice came from the other side of the door, gentle but shaking. "Ada, Ada, please open the door." She squeezed her eyes shut. I can't. "Ada, it's me," he said softly. "Please, open the door." She shook her head, crying harder. She didn't want him to see her breaking apart. She didn't want him to see how weak she felt. She didn't want him to feel guilty. But the door shook slightly. His voice became more desperate. "Ada, please don't shut me out." She tried to breathe, but her chest wouldn't open. "Sir, please, let me breathe," she sobbed. Kayode rested his forehead on the door. His voice cracked. "Ada, I'm scared. Please talk to me." His pain only made her cry harder. Inside the room, Ada felt like her whole world was falling apart. She loved him. She loved him deeply. But she couldn't stand the war that came with loving him. She couldn't survive being hated by people she didn't know. She couldn't endure the shame. She whispered, barely audible, "Sir, I don't want to hurt you anymore." "You're not hurting me," he insisted desperately. "I'm hurting because you're hurting." Her tears flowed harder. But then, a loud voice roared from the living room. "Kayode, leave her. She is manipulating you." Ada froze. She recognized that voice too well. Kayode's mother. She covered her mouth, terrified. Kayode groaned in frustration. "Mother, please leave my house." His mother didn't stop. "She's acting. She wants to make you pity her. She's winning because you are soft." Ada shook her head violently as new tears fell. "No, no, please stop." Another voice joined, one of the sisters. "I told you, she's dangerous. She's using emotional tricks." Ada cried harder and curled deeper into herself. Kayode snapped angrily. "Stop it. Stop it now. You've done enough." "We are saving you," the mother shouted. "We will not allow this poverty to enter our family." Ada's breath hitched. Her heart dropped. Her head spun. She felt the room shaking. She felt her vision blurring. She felt everything slipping away. She pressed her face into her knees as the voices outside clashed violently. Kayode's sister screamed, "Mother is right. This girl will destroy us." Another added, "She is not stable. Look how she is reacting. Imagine her in your house forever." Kayode growled, "Leave her alone. She is traumatized. You caused this." The mother scoffed. "A broken girl cannot be a wife. She will embarrass you." Ada felt something inside her shatter completely. Broken girl. Cannot be a wife. Not stable. Poverty entering the family. She cried so hard her throat burned. "Sir," she whispered weakly, I don't belong here." Kayode heard her muffled voice through the door. "Ada, don't say that. Please open the door." But his family kept shouting behind him. The mother's voice thundered dangerously. "If you marry her, Kayode, you will lose everything. Your inheritance, your properties, your family name. I will disown you." Ada gasped silently. Her eyes widened in terror. Lose everything? Because of her? She felt her heart twist painfully. Kayode shouted back, "I don't want anything from you. I only want peace." His mother screamed at the top of her voice. "You will never have peace with her." Ada cried out in pain. Her hands gripped her head as if it would burst. "No, no, please stop." Then, slam, someone pushed the door from outside. Ada jumped violently, crying louder. "Open this door," his mother shouted. "We will not let you poison our son." Ada crawled backward on her knees, terrified. Kayode blocked his mother, shouting, "Mother, stop. Don't touch her." But the mother pushed him aside again. "She must leave this house today." "No!" Kayode roared. Ada sobbed so hard she could barely breathe. She whispered brokenly, "Sir, please let me go, please." Kayode's breath hitched. His voice trembled. "Ada, please don't leave. Please don't." His mother screamed, "Open this door or I will break it." Ada covered her ears and screamed into her lap. "I can't stay. I can't stay. I can't stay." Kayode tried to calm her. "Ada, I'm here. You're safe. Don't leave me." His mother yelled even louder. "You are choosing her over the woman who gave you life." Kayode shouted back, "Yes, because you are hurting her." The mother gasped dramatically. "Then she has to go." Ada felt her heart collapse. The voices became a blur. The room spun. Her hands shook. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She stood up, still crying, unlocked the door, and opened it slowly. Everyone froze. Ada stood there with tears pouring down her face, her breathing uneven, her body weak. Her eyes were red, her cheeks swollen, her voice trembling. She looked directly at Kayode's mother for the first time. Her lips parted, and she whispered, "I will leave." Kayode's breath stopped. "Ada, no." She shook her head. "I don't want to destroy your family. I don't want to make you lose everything." Kayode stepped forward, grabbing her hands. "You are not destroying anything." Ada cried harder. "Sir, look around you. Everyone hates me. The whole world hates me." "No, Ada," he whispered. "I don't." She pulled her hands away gently. "But you'll lose your mother, your name, your peace." Kayode shook his head desperately. "I don't care." "But I care," she whispered. Kayode's face fell in agony. Ada looked at his mother and said softly, "I will go. Please leave him. Let him have peace." His mother exhaled in relief, nodding proudly. Kayode's heart shattered. "Ada, please don't leave me." She sobbed, "Sir, I love you, but I cannot survive this war." Kayode grabbed her shoulders, tears in his eyes for the first time. "Ada, don't do this." She leaned forward and pressed her forehead to his chest, crying silently. "Forgive me. Please forgive me." Then she pulled away, slowly, painfully. His fingers tried to hold her, but she slipped away. She turned around and walked out of the living room. Kayode stood rooted to the ground, breathing like someone stabbed him. His mother smiled victoriously. But Kayode whispered, "This is not over." Ada walked into her room, picked up the small nylon bag she came a month ago, and stepped outside the house, without looking back, without shoes, without hope, and with a heart breaking into pieces. Kayode reached the door too late. "Ada! Ada!" But she was already gone, and the sky began to darken, as if even heaven was grieving. Kayode stood frozen at the doorway long after Ada disappeared through the gate. His heart pounded against his ribs like it was trying to escape his chest. His mind screamed at him to run after her, to grab her, to beg her to stay. But his body didn't move. He could only stare at the empty space where she had just walked out. His breath stuck somewhere between his lungs and his throat. Behind him, his mother exhaled loudly with satisfaction. "It is done," she said. "She is gone. Now you can think clearly." Her daughters murmured in agreement. But Kayode didn't feel clear. He felt hollow. He turned slowly, his eyes red and sharp. "Are you happy now?" His mother blinked. "I have saved you." He laughed quietly, a bitter, humorless laugh. "Save me? You just broke me." His sisters rolled their eyes. "You're exaggerating, Kay." He faced them fully, his jaw tightening. "No, you all pushed a wounded girl until she chose to walk away from the first place she ever found peace." His mother snapped, "She didn't belong here." "And who decides that?" he asked coldly. "You? Because you wear lace and gold? Because people greet you with two hands? Because you can destroy people with rumors?" His mother's face flushed with anger. "Watch your tongue." Kayode took a step closer. "No, Mother, you watch your heart." Silence fell over the room like a heavy blanket. "You humiliated her. You brought reporters to my gate like I committed a crime. You turned her pain into entertainment. She has suffered enough. But you were not satisfied. You had to break her spirit too." His mother looked away, refusing to show any guilt. One sister tried to defend herself. We were only protecting our family name. Kayode turned to her sharply. Your family name is not more important than a human being. If our name stands on cruelty, then it is already worthless. Nobody spoke. He shook his head slowly. You can keep your name if you want it so badly, but I will not lose myself to protect it. His mother glared. So what will you do now? Run after a girl who left you? Yes, he said simply. They all stared at him. His mother scoffed. You will not dare. He grabbed his car keys. Watch me. He didn't wait for their reply. He walked out, got into his SUV, and drove out of the compound with a speed that matched the storm in his chest. Ada walked without seeing the road. Her feet moved on their own, taking her wherever they wanted. She didn't know where she was going. She didn't care. Her face was wet with tears. Her throat burned. Her heart felt like it had been pulled out and thrown into the road for cars to crush. People looked at her as she passed, but she barely noticed. The world around her was a blur of faces and colors and sounds that didn't matter. She walked until her legs ached. She walked until her slippers almost tore. She walked until her tears turned to dry sobs. Finally, she found herself on a quiet street she recognized. It was the same area where the Okoye mansion used to stand behind its proud gate, the same street where she used to sleep outside on a mat, the same place where a black SUV once stopped and a man's eyes saw her pain for the first time. The Okoye family had moved away after their shameful case with her unpaid salary and police trouble. The house was now empty, its gate locked, weeds growing near the wall. Ada stared at the spot near the gate, where she used to lie on the cold ground every night. She could almost see her younger self curled on the mat, shivering, praying for help. Slowly, she sank to the floor in the same corner, hugging her knees as the memories washed over her. Look at me, she whispered bitterly to herself. I started here. I ended here. She rested her forehead on her knees and sobbed quietly. She didn't know how long she stayed there. The sky began to darken. Cars passed slowly. A few people glanced at her with pity or curiosity, but no one stopped, except one. A familiar voice spoke softly. Are you always destined to break my heart beside a gate? Ada froze. Her breath hitched. She lifted her head slowly. The black SUV was parked on the street. Kayode was standing there, hands on his hips, chest rising and falling, sweat on his forehead like he had been searching everywhere. Ada's tears flowed anew. Sir, he shook his head with a small, sad smile. I knew I'd find you here. She looked away, ashamed. Why did you come? He walked closer. Because I told you I would not let you go. Her voice trembled. You should be with your family. They must be angry. I don't care, he said. She shook her head. You will lose them because of me. I might, he replied honestly. Then go back, she whispered. Don't throw away everything for someone like me. He knelt in front of her, just like the night he first saw her in the rain. You are not someone like you, he said. You are the woman I love. Her lips trembled. Love is not enough when the whole world is against us. Who told you the whole world is against us? He asked gently. She looked confused. He pulled out his phone. After my interview, he said, people began to talk, but not the way my mother expected. He scrolled and showed her. On the screen were comments and posts. Bless that girl. She deserves peace. Why are they humiliating a domestic worker? She is human too. May God bless the man standing up for her. That mother is wrong. This is wickedness. If this girl survives this, she will be a symbol of hope. Ada's eyes widened as she read. This is about me? She whispered. Yes, he said softly. People saw your pain, and they saw how you were treated, and many of them chose your side. Ada's tears rolled slowly. But your mother... He sighed. My mother is stubborn, but even she is not deaf. She has seen the backlash. Her brother spoke to her. Other elders spoke to her. She is starting to realize she crossed a line. Ada shook her head, still unsure. It doesn't change how she sees me. It may, he said. And even if it doesn't, you and I can still choose us. She hugged her knees tighter. I don't want you to lose your name, your inheritance. He sighed deeply. Ada, what is the use of wealth if I have no peace? What is the use of a big name if it is built on making someone I love suffer? Her tears fell faster. He continued, I am ready to lose anything, but I am not ready to lose you. She sobbed softly. I don't know how to be the woman you deserve. You already are, he said. You are kind. You are strong. You tell the truth. You survived hell and still have a gentle heart. That is more than any rich woman has ever offered me. She stared at him with raw pain and love in her eyes. Sir, he smiled faintly. Kayode. She swallowed. Kayode. He inhaled. I asked you earlier to marry me. You didn't answer. She looked down. He reached into his pocket and brought out a small ring. Simple but beautiful. He held it between his fingers, not forcing it, just showing it to her. I'm asking again, he said in a soft, steady voice. Not in a big mansion. Not in front of cameras. Just here, on the same street where I first saw you. The first night God opened my eyes. Her chest tightened. Ada, he whispered, will you marry me? Not for my money. Not for my name. But because you believe you deserve love too. Her tears poured freely now. She covered her mouth as emotions crashed into her like a storm. Kayode, she whispered, I don't know if I will ever fit your world, but I know my heart trusts you. He held his breath. She nodded slowly, shakily. Yes. He blinked. Yes. Yes. She said again, stronger this time, I will marry you. Relief washed over his face like a wave. His shoulders dropped. His lips parted in a shaky smile. His eyes glistened. Thank you, he breathed. He gently took her hand, slid the ring onto her finger, and kissed it lightly. Ada cried and laughed at the same time, a broken, beautiful sound of a girl who had seen the worst of life and was finally tasting something sweet. As they both stood up, a quiet clap echoed behind them. They turned. Kayode's mother stood at a distance. Her face was tired. Her makeup was gone. For the first time, she looked less like a queen and more like a human being wrestling with her pride. Ada panicked and tried to pull her hand away, but Kayode held it firmly. Mother, he said, his voice calm but guarded. She walked closer slowly. Her eyes lingered on the ring on Ada's finger. Her jaw tightened. Then she sighed deeply. I told myself I would never accept this, she said quietly. I fought it. I shouted. I poisoned it with my pride. I hurt you and I hurt this girl. Ada lowered her eyes, trembling. Kayode didn't speak. His mother exhaled again. But I watched your interview. I saw how you defended her. I saw the world defend her too. I heard my own brother tell me I had turned from firm to cruel. Her voice cracked slightly. And last night, I could not sleep. Silence filled the air. She turned to Ada. Girl, she said, and there was no insult in the word this time. Can you look at me? Ada raised her eyes slowly, fearfully. The older woman's lips trembled slightly. I was wrong. Ada's mouth fell open. I let my fear of shame make me act shamefully, she continued. I saw only where you came from. I refuse to see who you are. Tears pooled in Ada's eyes. I am not used to apologizing, his mother said honestly. But today, I will try. She swallowed. I am sorry. 2 simple words. But they hit Ada's heart like a miracle. She covered her mouth as tears rolled down. I can't promise I will change overnight, his mother added. But if my son is willing to lose everything for you, then you must mean something deep, and I would rather learn to accept you than lose him. Kayode stared at his mother, shocked. Ada sobbed softly. Ma, I never wanted to take him from you. I only wanted peace. His mother nodded slowly. Then let us all try. She looked at their joined hands. Keep your ring, she said. If he truly loves you, and you truly love him, then maybe, God chose you for a reason I cannot see yet. Ada cried uncontrollably. Kayode placed an arm gently around her shoulders. His mother turned and began to walk away, then paused. Without turning back, she said, When you are ready to do things properly, come to the house and greet me, as a family should. Then she left. Ada cried harder, leaning into Kayode. He held her close, his own eyes wet. "You see," he whispered, "the same world that once mocked you is now bowing to your strength." Ada shook with quiet sobs. "I'm scared, but I'm happy." He smiled against her hair. "It's okay to be both." He pulled back slightly and looked at her, the girl who once slept outside, the girl who was called nothing, the girl who almost gave up, the girl whose name was now written on land papers and in his heart. "One day," he said softly, "you will stand in a beautiful dress and walk toward me, and they will all see what I have always seen." Ada blushed through her tears. "What is that?" He smiled. "My wife." And for the first time in a very long time, Ada believed it, not as a dream, but as her destiny. The wedding day arrived like a whisper from heaven. The sun rose softly over Lagos Island, spreading golden light across the white canopy set up in the garden of Kayode's family home. Guests in beautiful lace and flowing agbatas filled the chairs, talking quietly, waiting for the moment the bride would appear. Inside the house, Ada stood before the mirror. She looked at her reflection and almost didn't recognize herself. Her hair was braided in a simple but elegant pattern, decorated with tiny pearls. Her dress, pure, soft ivory, flowed gently around her like a cloud. Her eyes glowed, not because of makeup, but because of joy she had never known was possible. She touched the ring on her finger. She remembered sleeping by a gate. She remembered hunger. She remembered humiliation. She remembered fighting to breathe in a world that wanted to crush her. And now here she was, a bride, a future wife, a woman rising from ashes. A soft knock came at the door. Kayode's mother entered quietly. Ada stiffened, unsure how to act. But the older woman smiled softly, a real smile this time. "My daughter," she said gently, "it is time." Ada's eyes widened. "My daughter?" The mother stepped closer and adjusted Ada's veil with trembling hands. "You earned this place," she whispered. "I did not give it to you. Life gave it to you. God gave it to you." Ada's tears fell instantly. "Thank you, Ma." The older woman wiped her tears gently. "No more crying. Today, you walk with pride." Ada nodded, overwhelmed. Minutes later, the music began outside. The guests stood. Kayode turned toward the entrance, and his breath stopped completely. There she was, walking toward him slowly, every step graceful, every step a miracle. Ada held her small bouquet tightly, her heart pounding with joy and disbelief. Kayode's eyes glistened. He whispered to himself, "She made it." When she reached him, he took her hand gently, like something precious. The officiant spoke, but their hearts only heard each other. When it was time to say their vows, Ada's voice trembled as she said, "I came from nothing, but you taught me that love can lift even the lowest person. I promise to stand by you the same way you stood by me." Kayode's voice broke slightly as he answered, "You survived pain that could break anyone, but you stayed kind, you stayed pure, you stayed human. I promise to protect you and love you for the rest of my life." The guests wiped tears quietly, and when they kissed, it felt like the world bowed. Weeks later, Ada stood in front of a renovated building, the New Shelter of Hope Foundation. Her name was written boldly at the top. Kayode stood beside her. "This is yours," he said, "a place where no maid will ever sleep outside again." Ada's heart swelled. "I want to help girls like me," she whispered. "I want them to know they are not trash. They are seeds waiting for rain." The first young maid arrived timidly at the gate. Ada opened her arms and smiled warmly. "Welcome," she said softly. "You're safe now." And just like that, Ada became what she once needed. Hope, not just for herself, but for every girl the world ever tried to throw away.